There we go. Cables here. Okay. Still a little. No. Yeah, there's some background noise. Unfortunately going on. Do something about it. Unfortunately, not much, it seems. So that's what we'll have to do with. All right. Best I can do. Getting everything ready. Or at least trying to. And all right. So I should be ready to build something. The stuff we're building this time is on there. Chthonic fuzz dot. I'm gonna be doing something else first, so I'm gonna get my paper. I have some stuff to do here, where I'm gonna get to the build. And first of all, I would like to thank my sponsor. So that's why we're able to do these strips again. So I got some strip board, as you can see over there, DOD Electronics. So that's the place where I order my parts from commonly, and I will keep doing so. And I got a patch of stuff that I'm gonna be, going through slowly. Some of this will last me for a while. And I'm gonna be, before we get to the build, I'm gonna get these out of the pink bags, put them where I usually keep everything. So, and then we can check a little bit of what else I have here. But yeah, that's really nice. So hopefully I can keep doing a bit more of these, because I have been, I'll say, too poor to get parts, to order parts. So this really helps a lot, and it's fun. I just enjoy building pedals myself. I might have to substitute the potentiometers we have on the build. And yeah, again, a fuzz. I'm just gonna try and get everything going on here, clean out my desk, and then I'll get to the build. And probably we're not gonna be testing it on this stream, but we will on the next one, and hopefully I can do one tomorrow. So if you want to see if the pedal then works, you'll have to come back tomorrow. So yeah, your solid, solid and stranded 24 AVG. Hookup wire, the stuff I commonly use. So got a bunch of this. So this is nice. I ran out of some of the stuff already. So now I'll be stocked up for a while on these two. Awesome. Awesome. And yeah, I think you can actually, if you do keep building, you can get a lot and get a discount. This is what I've been doing with the stranded ones. At least I'm gonna try. There we go, like that. So this is all solid. I'm gonna put it in one bag. Keep my stuff in order like that. So that's all the solid ones. And do I have a tab? I gotta go and fetch my Sharpie. That's how I label bags. Hold up. Here we go. It just makes building much more faster, easier when you got everything in order. So these were the solid ones. Then you just gotta keep everything in there where they belong. So yeah, that's one of my, I'll say, build tips. Just I always say, like, keep your desk clean. Make things easier for yourself. Do that. You can build lots of pedals. There we go. And this is gonna be the stranded. And I do use both. Oh, where's the other end? Yeah, both have their time and place. So sometimes you need the solid one, and sometimes you might need the stranded one. So it's nice to have both. And pretty much I also have all the colors. Oh, I think I put that in the wrong place though. Or did I? No, it's a solid one. Alright. It is in the right place then. There we go. So those are in place. And then I got a patch of knobs. So that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And I have a little container for those. These are gonna be, I'm gonna be using these on my do-it-yourself MIDI controller build. I'm just gonna put them here. So these are kind of reserved for that. I hope I can get the prototype with the circuit board started pretty soon. Those are for, these are for that as well. So I'm gonna get a bag for the components I need on that one. Got a bunch of LEDs, a few different kinds too, and PCB mounted potentiometers, of course. Yes, I have, how do you say it? How do you say it? God damn it. Reached the point where the prototype is gonna be on PCB, and it's basically, if it's prototype until it's proven to work, but if it works, it's pretty much a final product. Oh, there we go, the stranded blue one. I was pretty sure I should have that as well. There we go. Got all of that. Then some common parts I had run out of, so get the stock up on those. Then got myself some stomp switches, so we can actually hook something up. Then these are momentary buttons I'm going to use on the controller build as well. So got those. Then I got some trimmers. These are for another build. And this one's funny. I actually ordered the wrong one, but I'll make use. I'm sure I'm gonna end up using that one. All right, so here we are. Almost everything's almost sorted out. All right. Just a little bit more. All right, these are going. Then those hard ones. Oh yeah, and in case you're watching and you haven't checked my channel, I'm gonna start building a guitar this year. And another thing I'm gonna start doing is a pickup winder. So if I'm building a guitar, I'm also gonna wind my own pickups. So I'm discussing that a little bit in the video I made, New Year, new stuff on there. And I'm already took apart the old pickup winder. So that's gonna be happening. I'm gonna go to the workshop tomorrow get some parts. I'm gonna use plywood on the build. So that's something I might be streaming a little bit too. And you know, if that's something you're interested in or have wondered how it works, how to make one or so on, yeah, you know, just check back, subscribe and get notifications, because I'm gonna be making videos about that. So yeah, and I'm gonna say winding your own pickups is fun. I've done that, so it's not gonna be anything new, but the machine is gonna be new, shiny, and it's gonna work much better. All right, so let's put those in their rightful places. Drink. 5817. Do I have any? No, I do not. So here's my system. And I'm putting them in these bags because they just fit so nicely in the containers I use. Alright, then you have, yeah, I was running out of these, so. And then $47.5. Yeah, I was running out of these too. Damn it. So now we are set. There we go. And everything's here in the bin is nicely organized. Going from size like smallest to the highest like that. Then these are 220 ohms. So I have them here. Out of those two. So, all right, yeah. Thanks to my sponsor, Tata. Awesome, and I covered that in a video too. If you want to check out how to, you know, how the shop looks like, some ordering tips I made on the video also. You can do that. And yeah, I'm really happy that I did get sponsored. I've been ordering parts from Tata for years. I do say that in the video too, like I checked up in my first that I could find. It could be that I already did before that, but my first order, according to my archives, was on 2017. So yeah, and yeah, Tata has been my go-to place for build parts since then. And the thing I always say, like, skip the e-pay. You're gonna, especially on the jacks and so on, the quality of those cheap parts is absolute crap. So just go to the Tata website and get yourself stocked up from there, and you're gonna have a much better time with your builds. All right, I'm gonna put these in the trash, and then we're gonna start cutting up the strip board so we can get to the Chthonic fuzz build. Last time, I think the last build stream video was this one, Vemiram Chan Ray, that I did. So okay, hold up. Alright. And I'm actually thinking about putting one of these in this old build. So this is a Naga booster, treble booster circuit I have had for a while, and I'm just thinking about putting this on my pedal board instead of a tube screamer. Like, what the hell, can you do that? Yes, you can. And I might actually like the flavor. It's a good fun sounding pedal. So I'm gonna put that away for now. Some other things clean here. Alright. Now I have a couple of those. Oh, and then also, so I got this little thing for myself, and we're gonna take a look inside. So I'm gonna open this up, because in my sponsor package I also have these little push buttons, momentary ones, and as we can see, I'm missing 6 from this little box. And that's what we have there. So we have a Raspberry Pi quite crudely in place right now. And what this does is, it's basically my little DIY stream deck. So that thing over there, I have a code on that one, and it gives me buttons from F13 to F24. So that's the thing, you usually know, because we don't have those buttons in our keyboards anymore. So then usually software programs don't have anything like hotkeyed on those, because, well, we don't really have them. But Windows recognizes F buttons from 13 to 24. So what I can then do, I can on OBS or any other software, if I want to do that, I can put buttons or tasks or whatever and assign them to these keys then. Thank you. Yeah. And yeah, so it gives me nice controls over the OBS that I need. So I'm gonna be able to mute mics and so on from these buttons, and then I don't have to be afraid that I have any crossover, or however you want to say it, I don't know, with any other software. So that's really cool about it. I don't have to be afraid that if I press a button here, none of the other programs or softwares I'm running while I'm streaming will have anything assigned to these keys. So that's the handy part. So what I'm gonna just do now is we're gonna put these in place, and then I will continue the build another time. So I have to take the Raspberry Pi out. And I might make this at some point a little bit prettier. And how I'm going to do that? Well, I could order some sort of blade. So I'm going to check how am I able to do that? And for that too, I've been checking it, and I'm aware that Theta actually also offers a faceplate service. So I gotta look into that and see if I can get something or a few different ones printed to this. So then, if I'm not streaming, I could of course use this with other software. So that would be cool. And now I gotta ask, what is Luria up to? Oh, do I see? I'm checking my sound settings again, making sure I had. Okay, yeah, that's better because I had them running into the desktop as well. Ooh. Oh yeah, nice. Finns and their sauna. Yeah, gotta have it. Like if you don't regularly get the sauna, you're gonna get depressed as a Finn. That's the thing. Trust me. And last one. Oh no! It looks like. So I'm monitoring my Twitch on my other computer, and it just seemed to like freeze up. I don't know why. So, what's up with that? Oh, come on. I hope the stream is fine though. Okay, yeah. Are we back? No, it's just loading. Damn it. Are we back now? Come on. Yes. Oh yeah. Is it? I should check the settings then. Oh, am I doing for? Ah, yeah, it seems pretty bad right now. Oh, thank you for notifying me. I'm gonna try and look at if I can do anything about that. Yeah, it just tells me that the bit rate is too high. So yeah, I think I need to just scale it down on the OBS, I think then. seems. Up. Okay, but yeah, so this is how the little stream deck. So I got 12 buttons I can then assign freely to different commands. So that's cool. But that's a build I'm gonna do another time. So I'm just gonna put those there so I don't misplace them. And then it's gonna go to the side, and we are actually gonna be ready to. This one's gonna also like just go back. Then we're gonna start the build. Oh, there's some another one. Maybe I got this. Got a lot of those, and we're gonna make more. That's what we're doing. Right. Okay. So we have our strip board. We got 12 through 12. Let me see if I actually have if I can have a small board here somewhere that would fit our needs. I always got some like small ones left over pretty much. 12 through 12. So let's see. 8, 9, 11, 12. But this direction 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Damn it. We don't. So we gotta cut one. And well, how we're gonna do that is I'm just gonna start here and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. So that's our board. And always double check, good to come. Yeah. No, it's like you don't want to. Of course, then you could build something else. Check what kind of stuff you can, do on the board. You fucked up, but 12. Yes. So that's why I always say like just 12. Yeah. So you don't want to fuck up on this stage already pretty much. And yeah, we're gonna be cutting from there and there also. Yes. Okay, then but again, thanks to my sponsor, we can fuck up, and I still have some strip board left. So yeah, yeah, I'm really just so excited about that. So and yeah, I'm gonna keep promoting the good stuff. There we go, and then. There we go. Alright, and then I'm gonna just cut it a bit smaller. I wouldn't really have to necessarily, but I'm gonna do it because it just is nicer. And let's see, I didn't fuck up already. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. go. And then up. Nice. There we go. We got our board. That's gonna go over there. And then I'm just gonna trim it a little bit. And yeah, always good idea to not cut towards yourself, especially when you got a nice little cutting mat like this. Keep yourself out of the harm's way. Isn't home the like one of the most dangerous places anyways, like where accidents happen. I actually just burned my thumb pretty bad last week. Picked up something from the oven and the oven mitt just, or the thing you use just slipped a little and and it really hurt. For a while. But I took care of it properly this time, so it wasn't too bad. Alright, and then just a little bit of that to round it off. Alright, okay, and then we got 9 cuts, so that's the next part we're doing. And this is the stage where we need to remember to mirror. So the red little squares we see on the layout, so they're not going on this side, or yes they are, but the red dots you see, so you gotta remember that the components go on this side. So those red squares, that means the cuts need to be so you gotta look at it like that. So then we have when we have the cut on row 9 or row A and on, it's actually here. So the first A and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you count it from here. There you go. And then when you flip it over, it's in the right place. So yeah, that's a really common mistake when people, what's wrong with my build? Yeah, you didn't flip the image for the cuts. So that's what is wrong with your build. And yeah, nothing's working, of course, if you do that. There we go. So that should be all correct, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. 1 between there. 3 from that side, and then 3 between there. All right, we're good. We are good to go. And then my tool for making the cuts, and the tool I always recommend, you have a little hand drill with a good sharp drill bit, and you just do that. There we go. and I have noticed, I don't know, maybe I could get a bit bigger to clean off, but here's what I've done to, oh, that's pretty good, but put some more. So this is how I just really clean them up, make sure nothing's touching nothing's connecting the strips. All right, there we go. So that's good. Looks to be all right. So then we start with making the links, and I'm gonna get my usual thing here. This thing. There we go. That's where it stands nicely, and I'm gonna put it the other way around. There we go. No, actually, yeah. Me. All right. Oh, that's too tight. There we go. Now we can rotate. Okay. Yeah, I got this just bare copper wire. Usually I just also sand it a little bit. So there we go. Solder flows better to it. Yep. I've almost cut off fingertip too. I've been there, done that. Oh, you cut off? God damn! You just didn't just almost do it. You actually did. Yeah. Yeah. I just almost did it. You have excelled me in that, sir. I'm kidding. There we go. That looks to be go over there. Yep. Boom. That's done. Then we got 2 more links to go. There we go. And I can already turn up the iron, soldering iron. I'm gonna heat it up to 380. Oh, one thing I forgot to, have on my, so I hope I still got the sockets for transistors and everything. Yeah, the thing you do if you accidentally do that, so the thing that's why it's handy to also have the super glue. So a few years ago I was camping in the woods. I had this like really nice new knife. Can't remember what I was doing. It could be that I was just, doing something something there with some sticks and so on, making myself a little chair or whatnot, and I almost cut the tip of, you know, thingy off. So yeah, I had to pack everything up, get off, and then because I didn't have super glue on my first aid kit. If I did, I would have just, you know, super glued it and stayed there. But you know, but yeah, I just packed everything up and went back and super glued that basically what was like hanging off there, like back on. And it healed up pretty nice. You can see a little oh no, the scars like can't really see anything anymore even. So yeah, pretty good. All right. Yeah, we're up to soldering now. So we have started the build. Haven't done this a while. Pretty cool. Could be nice to build some sort of a weird pedal for a change. Like I've made so many fuzzes and overdrives and distortions, and it's like meh. Let's say that the variety of how those pedals and what they do is, well, I'll point you basically notice that meh. Why? Yeah, I've done one or two actually, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I could find a good one. And a couple of filter pedals as well, so yeah, that could be an idea. Alright, the links are in place and you can see there's 4 of them as it says on the layout, so we're done with those. Then let's see if I got those sockets. Oh yeah, we do. Oh, I have probably ordered some at some point. And the fun thing I'm gonna do with this build is I'm gonna try out, yeah, choruses are kinda, I haven't really because I'll just say it's not cost effective. And sometimes they just want some parts that are hard to get and a bit too expensive, so that's the thing about those. The tremolos are fun, and I've made those as well. And the thing about it, my pedal building is, do I need these? Like, no, not really. It's just fun to build them. And sometimes you might build something that actually sounds really fun and cool. And it's like, oh, well, I can mess around with that and put it on my pedal board or whatever. So. Oh, and yeah, you can find these videos on my YouTube, of course. So all my live stream builds and so on, they're available there. Should probably put the link on rolling on the chat too. There we go. And that's my trick for holding those in place. Just simply tag. Really simple, easy, and effective. Alright. We are not gonna use the CLR resistor. So yeah, YouTube. Yeah, I just gotta do that at some point. I gotta update some stuff. Update. Alright, so the next order of things I always do is I put the resistors on board. So, and again, everything's nicely packed up, labeled, organized. So I'm just gonna take out the trash first, this stuff here, you know. Okay, and then I'm gonna get back to the desk and we're gonna continue with the build. Oh, and these ones too, I'm gonna just throw in the bin. I'm not gonna use those really everywhere. Oh yeah, sauna. Have a nice steam. Thank you. Alright, so I always start out with everything that starts with 1, because that's how I'm organized. So we got a 1K, one of those, and it goes over there, it seems, like that. And then we got 100K, 100K. That's here, and it goes all the way there. Yep, that is the correct place, and then 1 mega. And I might need to, I'll probably take the Vemiran Chanray or whatever it was apart, and I might have to borrow or yeah, just use potentiometer I use on that one, on this build. Let's go. Oh yeah, and the other thing is I'm most likely gonna be streaming something else too. Some software stuff. I've been thinking about just streaming when I'm making, no, I'll say music. Just when I'm playing around with Ableton or Studio One. So if that's what something you're watching and that's something you're interested in, again, just come and check back sometime and see if I'm doing that. All right. there we go. Those are in place, and then I'm just going to do everything that starts with the 2, if there are any. There is 1, 2K, 2K. There we go. And that goes from there to all the way up there. And this is one of those, again, easy, simple builds. And then we got 4.7 ohm. Let's see if we have that one. Not very common. Yeah, we don't. But we got 47. We have that one. So I need to substitute the. I need to substitute the 4.7. That's a. I already knew that's like a weird one. So let me see how I can substitute that. I'll make sure we don't have that done. No. There ain't one. Yeah, that's. I've never have I ever seen that before. So goddamn. Do we have anything like even close to that? I'm not sure. That's such a weird thing. What the? I think I'm just gonna do the usual. I'm gonna take 2, or then I'm gonna check if we have. No, not even close. So I got 2.7 ohms here. So I'm gonna take 2 of these, and I'm gonna do use the serial trick. So what that will give us is 5.4. It's not that far off. Shouldn't probably, I'll say, affect the sound that much. So here's what you do. If you don't have the exact value, you can put 2 resistors in series like that. There we go. And that will work. And of course now we don't have the exact value still, but we're close, so it'll do. But if you have a collection of resistors, you can usually get to the exact value like that, combining 2. So that's a little trick you can do. Alright, so it's not pretty, but it works. And it's not too ugly either. There we go. Should be good. And then I usually keep stuff. Oh, and what the hell? We're not done. Getting ahead of myself. Here. There we go. Alright, now they are soldering. We can clean up again. And if you have any questions, just ask. And then, like I said, this will be, if you're watching on Twitch, this will be on my YouTube channel. If you want to ask something over there, do that in the comments. So I'll try to answer to the best of my knowledge. But I don't consider myself like a pro, and especially on the electrical department on these things. That wasn't flush. I'd like to push that in a bit more. It's not, damn it. That one's going. Alright. I have not learned my lesson from burning my finger. Apparently. Yeah, that's annoying. I don't want them to stick out like that, so still gonna try and push that in there. I'm just gonna use a little helping hand here. Oh my god. Why is it being so hard? Well, I'll just leave it. Clean up the soldier though. Alright, so that was all the... So we just got 5.6k and then that 820 ohms left. Let's see if we got that one. 5.6k we should, and we do that. Alright. And then 820, right? Oh, yes, we do have that. Nice. Okay, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from there to all the way there. Okay. There we go. All right, and then we get to the capacitors, and we don't have a lot of those, so we're done with the resistors. And like I said, we shouldn't need the CLR we need there. We see there because that's for the LED and the so. I usually don't connect the LED to the board anyway, so it connects to the foot switches when you're building. So, all right. So what do we have? 4.7. Hey, here we go. Put that in place. And again, it's polarized minus side, so you gotta be aware of that and put it through. right way around. Yep. There we go. Alright, and then 560 PF. We might have those, I hope, at least. Probably not here though, or I'm gonna check. We might. That would be nice though. Ah! I think I did that another time also. Like, I don't know what those are even. So back you go. 390, 100, 390 again, 47. Come on. Do we have 560? 560. Do we have 560? It seems. So there we go. We got that. Nice. All right. So this one goes over there. Yeah. No. No. Almost moved up. It goes there. And then the diode 5817 is for polarity detection. So in case you hook up the wrong polar supply, or your cable is just wrong or something. That's in case of that. So again, might not need it at all in my case, but I'm just gonna put it because I'm kind of used to it. Then more of the caps, 100 enough. No. The resistors away. And like I said, unfortunately, I will be out of time for the day when I've finished up this board. So if you want to hear how this sounds like, you'll have to join me tomorrow when I still gotta like set up my systems and so on, so we can nicely get a good sense of how it will sound like. So I'm just gonna get my audio working properly. I got some new stuff going on over there, so I gotta do that. All right, we do have more 100 NFs, one more of those, and it goes there. No, there. All right, a bit crowded, but not bad. There we go. Then we got a 22 and 33. Should have those. We got the 22 over there. And then we got the 33. Right there. Alright. And after that, we should have all our, well, except for the transistors, we should have everything in place. Oh, and another thing, if someone's watching, I'm usually picking these up, layouts, the Chthonic fuzz you see over there, from dirt box layouts. So if you see something there that's verified and you'd be interested in hearing it out or something, again, just leave a comment on YouTube for me and I'll see what I can do and if I can build that, you know, because it really, I just picked these like, okay, and now I've been picking these up, like, do I have parts? What parts do I have? So hopefully I can get an order, another little sponsor package from my sponsor, DOD Electronics. That would be nice, because then I'd be able to do more of these streams and build some more pedals. And the other thing about building those pedals I still haven't gotten around to is I can take the captures, and that's something I've been meaning to. There are captures of pedals I've done and modded on the tonex. So if you're using the IK Multimedia amplitube or tonex, you can check my stuff out. The links you can find on my sites and on YouTube and so on. So yeah, I took some models out of the pedals I've done, and like I said, some of them are just modified to my liking. So what you hear there might be something else than your stock stuff you usually get. So if you want to go and check it out, like I said, you can find the links on my sites and so on. Yeah, now it's a little crowded. Oh yeah. Alright, that looks to be everything. Okay, so there we go, there we go, there we go. Now let's clean up again. Like that, I can actually take it out. Usually at that point I return to my good old, well, now it's really a helping hand, because yeah, I've had that for a long time and it still works as a helping hand. It used to have two, but it's crippled now. I don't know what happened. It was an accident. So, but yeah, this is handy when I'm doing the wires for the pots and so on. So, yep, there we go. And yeah, like I said, everything. Oh, 100 UF. So one more part. Missed that on the middle. There we go. Almost. and that way around. Okay, now we should have everything on there. Am I right? Yes, I am. Okay. Okay. Oh, I just turned off the iron. Let's put it back on. And yeah, I might actually work on this a little bit. Or I stopped the stream. So I can get this up and running for tomorrow. A little DIY stream deck thing. It's beautiful. No, it's not, but it works. That's the thing. It will work beautifully. And for this thing, what I do is, so there's going to be a ground connection here. And for that, well, I'm just going to put in copper wire again, like just there, copper wire. That should do it. So let's start putting it over there. Yeah. There we go. So that's like, that all connects to ground. So, and then I'm gonna connect this piece on there. Lastly, like that. All right, all the solder is up, so I'm gonna actually do this quickly. There we go. Stream deck. Changing, or actually just making cameras visible, or screens, and then muting and unmuting mics and so on. So that's what this will be for. One of the things I want to be, of course, doing is I don't want to hear the acoustic strumming of my electric guitar when I'm demoing a pedal or something. So I can then have this on the table side, and then when we get to the part where I'm actually seeing if the pedal works, I can have this on the side there, and then when I start playing, I can just mute the microphone I have on this camera there, and then play, and you're only gonna hear the processed sound of my guitar and the pedal that I've been working on. And then when I have to blab, or when I don't have to, but then when I'm gonna speak again, I can then unmute the microphone bit. So, and that's what I wanted to do the thing. I can't remember, the Raspberry Pi wasn't too expensive. So in the end, it's really cheap. It's not as fancy as like a real stream deck. No, by no means. But a little alternative for me and gets the job done, the job I wanted to do. So yeah. All right. Okay. So now we should have everything over there. Yep. Except for the transistors, which I hopefully do remember to hook up when we're done. So there we go. And backside looking really clean. Usually I do the scrape off the between the strips with a tool like this. But I did have a few like ridges between the strips. I think on a build I did recently on stream. So this is just good practice. Doesn't take too long and it really doesn't hurt at all. So just why not do it? Okay, so I'm gonna take these again, clean out the trash, and I'm gonna get myself a drink. I'll be back to the table, and we're gonna start hooking up the potentiometers into this. All right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I do actually have a link to my YouTube apparently over there. Good. Yeah, I was thinking about adding that, but I don't have to. I can add some other stuff though at some point. And yeah, again, like yeah, DOD Electronics. Thank you very much. It's nice to finally have this, this like all the buttons to that and be able to put it together. I'm really happy about that. Oh, I forgot to take the trash. Alright, I'll do that. Alright, so let's take a look at the pots. So, like I said, I have to substitute here. I'm running out of this stuff. I do have board PCB mounted ones, but I don't really have much of these with the lugs. So we got fuzz here, B1K. So we do have what we actually want. And then we would have 10kc for the luster. I don't know what the hell that is, but we don't have that. So I'm gonna take a logarithmic one. So A stands for logarithmic. In case anyone's wondering about that, it means whatever it does, for example. So that's how it looks, the curve. So if it would be volume, it would kind of have a huge jump at the end of the rotation of the potentiometer. So, and then the B stands for linear. So it's much more, well, linear in that way. So you can hear the change throughout the whole rotation of the potentiometer. So much more. And C would be this. So then oops, it would already kind of jump there and so on. But anyway, so it will behave a bit differently than it's like, let's say, supposed to, but it should still work just fine. And then for the output, 100kA would be there, but we're gonna do fine with the B100. So I'm just gonna start wiring this up, and we're gonna use the stranded one for these. And there we go. And fuzz 1kB. So we already have these wires there, so that's gonna be one. Nice. And the lugs are numbered from this side. So shaft upwards, 1, 2, 3. So then when we turn it this way, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. So that's good to remember. So then when we go here, fuzz is gonna go there, fuzz 2 is gonna go there, and fuzz 3 is gonna go there. Yes. Alright. And then we're ready to do some soldering again. Alright. There we go. So the fuzz pot is over there, ready to go. I'm gonna clip these a bit shorter. And then we're gonna get to the other ones stranded. And I'm gonna go with my favorite. The joke would be that, you know, I'm using the Arc Nemesis colors. It's Swedish. Well, you know, my fellow Finns would be mad at me if they would see this. I'm gonna do it anyway. You are. Alright, so luster 1 to output 3. Alright, so I'm gonna put that. There we go. And then with cables, wire strippers, strip some wire. It ain't that hot in here. Not yet. In summer though, it does get hot in here. There we go. And luster 1 to output 3 means that the pod 1 from the luster pod is gonna go into the pod output pod lug. So And now we do the pre-tinning. So this is what you always do with your hookup wires. Oh, then, so before you solder them into components, you just thin the leaves like that. Makes everything so much easier. So if you're new to building pedals, this is a step you want to take. And I actually have a thing here that I built myself that sucks at least a good part of the fumes away from my face. So that's one thing you should have. You don't want to be just breathing these all day long, especially if you really get into building. You know, just invest in a system though. Or at least just a fan that blows it off somewhere else. Alright, so that's how you do this thing. Here we go. Alright. Okay. And then we had 2 and 3. 1 and 2, yeah. So 1 and 2. And that one was going on to lock 3 on that pot, so just gonna have to cut 2 wires more. Alright. Back. How's son? Depression avoided. With regular sauna. Oh yeah, it's the perfect weather for that. The snow is fluffy. Oh yeah, this thing has been really handy, by the way. So I made the video about it too. You can find it on my YouTube channel. Just a little holder for the solar wire. And you can move it around. And DIY. Do it yourself. Wasn't too expensive build. Not at all. I mean, it works really nice. Scrap plywood from other projects and then just again like aluminum tube and a bolt from some other stuff that I've done. So it's just sometimes, or not just sometimes, but fun to figure out, you know, what you can do with trash that's left over from other projects. that's with the guitar build that I'm gonna be doing. I gotta make my own tools. So I actually did a video already on my channel that I'm just gonna do some member content covering that kind of stuff. All right, so our output 1 and 2. That's too big. Cut. There we go. 1, 2. Okay. All right, and this was the lusher. All right, so 2 and 3. There we go. Then we gotta put 4 more wires in this one, and it will be ready for testing and sound check tomorrow. So like I said, I've been saying, you gotta, if you want to hear this out, you gotta come back tomorrow, check out my stream again. God damn it. Alright, so then we got the input, or that's gonna be my output color as always. Gonna be, and then T9 volt plus and minus, which is the ground. There we go. Alright, I'll keep them there, clean up later. And yeah, then we're gonna do the pre-pin again for this. Alright. There we go. And these two. So yeah, I'm gonna try different transistors. Oh, what happened? I don't know. Something happened on the screen. Thought I saw something, but I'm not sure. Yeah, That's too much. Clip that. There we go. Alright. And then let's put these in place. So 9 volts. Oh, let's put the ground here. So the ground will go there. Then we got the output. Yeah. 9 volts. Alright. I lost my thought over there. So probably was going to say something and I forgot. And it wasn't that important. There we go. And then we got the input on this side. 1, 2, 3. There. That's the swap. There we go. And now I can turn off the soldering iron. Okay, clean these. Okay. That should be it, yeah. Alright, and a while ago I thought that my audio interface was crapping out on me, so that it broke. But fortunately that wasn't the case. I just tried out a different power supply unit, PSU, as they shorten it. And I noticed that apparently the original one was the thing that had broken. So I did a little cable because the PSU was the wrong polarity. It was meant for pedals. So I took my little tester thing apart, or the battery clip, blah blah blah. And well, then I salvaged the cable out of that PSU. So now I have this instead going on here. So, but as we can see, it works. So I am ready to test out this unit now. So that's what's gonna be happening tomorrow. I'm not sure how long the stream has been going on for now, but I'm gonna put that side there, and then I'm already gonna clean up. So like I said, it's good to keep things in place and clean. Gonna have much fun, more. It's gonna be much more fun to build when you make a habit out of it. You'll be able to find things, and then you can actually spend your time making builds instead of just, you know, like, where the hell did I put that, and so on. go. And yeah, look, anyone who might be watching this later too, like I said, just if you wanna go and suggest me a build, you can do it. You can go to the Dirtbox layout site and check what they have. I'm only gonna do the verified though. I'm not gonna be the first one to, unless it looks like really fun. And then of course it's up to, do I have the parts? Some builds might need parts that are really hard to get or just a bit too expensive for my taste, so. At some point it would be nice to get to make a few DIY just for fun reverbs, but they use the Belgian brick. And I think getting one Belgian brick would be enough if I would then just be socketing that on the builds. So if the builds are done, or the layouts are done in a way that you could socket Belgian brick on there, that would be cool. But I have to look into that. Oh yeah, actually, one more thing I'm gonna do before I'm gonna end the stream. So I had to take this thing apart just a while ago. So I'm thinking about putting this one back together. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and do that actually. So let's heat up the soldering iron again. Oh, these little fun little coils I did. So I gotta look up to it, but yeah, these are something I wound up with the pickup winder that I now took apart and I'm gonna improve on. So I'm gonna try and do the, what do you call it? EPO, the sustainer thing you can use with your guitar. So it just makes the string like vibrate endlessly. So then you get a good example of that is this super crass song called Mary in the beginning. You can actually see him doing it in the video too. So I've had these here for a while, and it's a small little circuit that these then hook up to. And so let's see when I get around that. I wound those a while ago, so they've been ready to go. I don't know the specs of these, so they do on the layouts or instructions they have on the little unit, which is actually really expensive considering like what's inside there with the components. So I'm not sure how it will work, or if it will work at all when I put it together with those coils. We'll see about that. All right. Okay, so gotta put this there. So I'm gonna put this on. Oh, try and keep it on the screen. It's a bit hard. So this is one of the most annoying and hardest things I think you can do is building a pedal for this size of a enclosure. especially if you're gonna do a vero. Like, I mean, this is a nice PCB build, and I did put the PCB together myself, so. All right, there we go. Okay, that will work. That'll work. And then let's get all of this up here, which might be easier said than done, really. So I'm just gonna try and hook this up here. There we go. Yeah, this is gonna be tricky one. Did I go through the bottom? It's there. I'm going to try and do that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that worked. Nice. Then I'm sure that is the ground. So let's see if I can get that over there. Damn, this is gonna be annoying. Ah, it burns. Ah, yeah, I knew this was gonna be hard. No. Oh. I'm just gonna leave it like that. No, first. Alright. Let's try and do some. Get the extra off. Ah, nothing stays in place. There we go. Let's check which is the in is on that side. Alright. Well, let's try and get it in there. That's how this thing be like sometimes. These are the non-far fun parts of pedal building. Watch this. Boxing one up. Not that fun. It's just how it is. We're gonna also see tomorrow if this thing works as well. Just for fun. I'll make sure. Alright, so there we go. And goddamn, this is one of those things I forgot that. So yeah, I gotta. Oh. Okay. Now we really need this one. This thing. There we go. That's good. Yay, there we go. So. Oh. And there we go. All right, now we should be able to then get it in there, like that. Yes, that'll work. I seem to have misplaced a few things. I'm just gonna belong some from here and then go through this back where I off this stuff. So there we go. And there we go. All right, so, and this should work now, but we can just check with the light turns on. That should be a good sign already. So let's do that. Yes. So that should be back to working order. So, and it's a little boost circuit that I've made. Basically the Earthquaker device's black eye boost. There you go. So I'm just gonna put that back together. Let's see how much, like, yeah, I think the boost on tap is full. So you can get a lot of boost from this one actually. It has a nice sound. I do like how it colors the sound a little too. There we go. All right, so that's back to its box. All right. So that's done. Getting shit down here. At least trying to. There we go. And yeah, then we are ready to there we go. See if this works tomorrow. So I'm gonna put on the transistors, or forget to do it the first time. Then I'll just spend like 10 minutes wondering what the hell is wrong with it, and then I'm gonna be looking at it and going like, ah, oh, god damn, I'm so stupid, and yeah. Then I'll put them in, and we can really see if it works. I'll be right back. Hold on. Gotta take out the trash. So all this little stuff just. All right. Yeah, excitement. Me too. I'm getting excited, and the most I'm also just really excited that I have a sponsor, DOD Electronics. I'm gonna keep mentioning it, but yeah, so it just makes this possible, you know. I couldn't have really spared the money to make component order anytime soon without the, so really appreciate the support. It's so fun, and yeah, I hope it continues, and I can, you know, also showcase what other kind of stuff they have and the services that they can provide, which is one of them is the UV printing. So let me just show that. So this little boost here we have, this one. So in the end, when it's up to that point, it's working and so on. And then it went to that. So that's what Theta can do for you too. So it's the graphics are UV printed on there. And I gotta say that the look of this is, can you get any more professional? Not really. So, but they also do the faceplates, and I'm really just interested in that, you know, see like how that'll work. So that would be really cool. And yeah, I hope I can do that, and you know, continue sponsorship, and I can just you know, and there's other products there as well. I think they also offer some circuit boards you can do guitar pedals builds with, so it would be fun to maybe get a few of those and, you know, do builds with them. They also do the drilling service for the enclosures. I haven't done that before, so it would be nice to try that out as well. I might need it in the future. And yeah, it's a really nice place, a shop for a DIY pedal builder. This just looks really cool. Those are actually a wrong way around. That's the in and that's the out. It was a mistake. I didn't catch when this graphic is not done by me, so it was outsourced and I didn't catch that. until it was too late. So, you know. But yeah, the stream will soon be over. I think the devil is gonna go outside and take a little walk. So, to anyone who was watching, thank you. I'm glad to have you here. And you know, you're always welcome to comment, ask stuff, and yeah. You know, and like I say, I always try to just answer what I can. There might be things I know. There might be stuff there's a lot of stuff I don't know. I gotta say that. So then, of course, if anyone wants to correct me on anything as well, that's most than welcome to do so as well. You know, always nice to learn new stuff. So, you know, and yeah, gonna turn off the soldering iron over there. We can turn off the fans. Yeah, it's gonna be ready for tomorrow here, and then hopefully I'll try to probably put this together before the build stream, so then I'll be able to have the audio, like noise audio, like I said, without the acoustic sound of my electric guitar strumming, because that sounds nasty, I think. Yeah, and it's really dark outside. Hello, darkness, my friend. I'm gonna get copyright strike again. No, I haven't been, so and I'll try to keep it that way, so that hopefully no one catch that. But yeah, that's the thing. It's dark. It's dark. Darkness. Darkness. All right. Yeah, more streams. No. Dude, why could it be like that? But yeah, next week. So I think we're still on Sunday, right? So next week I'll be streaming more. I don't know what yet, but well, of course this one. I don't know if I'm gonna build something else. Like I said, I'm running out of pots. So we might not be on this desk. We might actually be the desk that's behind me, where there's like some, I'd say, more interesting stuff happening. Should be, at least. So gonna be the pickup winding. Oh, I'm gonna show a little bit of that before we go. So yeah, I took the old one apart, and the parts are here, and then I took notes about how it was wired, so I got that, and yeah, this is what we have pretty much. So this is for the speed control of the motor. We gotta have that in a good pickup winder. Then we got the turn counter thingy. So this is just a cheap thing from eBay I ordered. I think it was like 5-6 euros or something. And there's a sensor that hooks up to it. And then on the other side of that is just, so it's a magnet here. It hooks up to that. And then when the little metal disc passes it, it just, you know, yeah, registers it here, and it actually holds up really well. So I can have it rotating really fast, and it still keeps up the winds. And this is then the motor. So I had to make a little trick to attach this shaft to it, and then be able to attach the part where the pickup bobbin then goes to. So I have that here, and tomorrow I'm gonna go to the woodworking shop and I'm gonna get this like attachment. So I'll have just again just piece of scrap plywood. I'm gonna attach this to and pin it between two pieces basically, and then make sure it just spins really really straight. So that's the most important part. And then we have this little switch which turns it on or off and also changes the direction where it's rotation. So yeah, that's simplistically it. And then if we go here and we can check how it works probably. So now when I start turning this, the motor starts. And the good thing about this motor is that it's actually really quiet, so I like that as well. So that's why I had two other ones here, bigger ones, like this. So I don't need this much power. That power is enough. The wire is really thin, so in the end you won't have that much of a pull or resistance, so the motor can still do its work. So that's it on full. And then I had these motors. I think this was the one that this was kind of janky. I think I need to have a bigger PSU hooked up to it than I have now. But so I'm just gonna show this one quickly. Alligator clips, these come in handy sometimes. Let's put that there, and then this one here. There we go. And now when we start turning this, so we can hear the noise already. So that's the thing, I don't want it to be that loud winding pickups. So yeah, I'm not going to be using these motors. And yeah. But that's a thing I'm working on, and it's going to be covered on my channel. And you're going to basically be able to, if you want then, to, with my advices, apply and build your own. And then I got the stuff that you need to make the pickup bobbins. So I got a few different things. This sort of plastic stuff. So this is hard stuff. How thick, I'm not sure, but I could use that one. Or then you got your good old, and this is something they used in amplifiers too back in the day. So if you have like a vintage amp, you might have the board that everything's hooked up to, all the components, is Bakelite. So this sort of a thing. But this stuff, unfortunately, actually can soak up moisture. So then when you see those vintage amps, it might be all like wonky and curved. And that's because probably it has picked up moisture, which of course isn't a good thing. That's why they don't really use this stuff anymore that much. But yeah, for the pickup bobbins, I might be using this. It has a cool vintage vibe to it. And of course, you can have this like thicker one as well. So, but that's some stuff I've picked up. This local shop where they sell all kinds of plastic or rubber products carries this. still on stock. I have a bigger sheet of that, so I'll be able to make some nice quality pickups when I get my machine going. And then, you know, if anyone would actually like to have a set of custom pickups made for them, yeah, I'd be able to provide that with certain kinds of specs and so on. And yeah, that's something I'm going to be doing. And as we see, the parts are really like simple. So it's just the hard part is getting everything together in a way that makes the operation smooth, and then of course the end result will be much better when everything is really nicely running and calculated. And I think the thing is that I'm gonna probably be doing some sort of humbucker and 2 single coil pickup guitar, and I'm gonna have the single coil on the neck and in the middle, and then the humbucker on the bridge. And for that humbucker, I'm thinking about getting one that's, as they say, really hot, so a lot of resistance on there, and I'm gonna just be a coil split that, so I'll be able to just have a push-pull pod or something, so then if I want I can take the other coil of that humbucker out of the equation, and then the output of that pickup will be lower and it will sound more like a Strat in that sense. So that's something. So then I have a really nice guitar. Do I need one more? Not really, but I just want to do that on my channel, you know, build one, show how it's done, and hopefully help anyone who wants to be doing that themselves. So it really ain't that hard. All you gotta really do is like measure and just, you know, double, triple, quadruple check everything, because with wood, when you're working with wood, the thing is like, yeah, you can take it off, but you can't put it back really. So, but you can of course patch things up and so on, but then it's like it's not gonna probably look pretty and so on. So it's just better to like I said, quadruple check everything before you do it, especially the first time around. If you're building your first, like, just do it properly, and if you like it, the next one's gonna be much easier to do. So, and usually the common mistakes are, you can still correct them. And what I also suggest, and I'm going to do, is I'm going to do a bolt-on neck, because I did my first one that I built, I did a set neck, so it's glued on the body, and it came out great, no worries, but it's just much easier to do a bolt-on neck. And the reason is also because if you fuck up the neck, well, you can then make another one. And yeah, so that way it's nice to keep them separate. But yeah, guitar building, pickup winding, more pedals, and like I said, then I'm gonna also be streaming on my computer, the software side, music making stuff, and so on, mixing, and yeah, all sorts of stuff. Always good to have more projects than you have time for. So you're never gonna be bored. That's the thing. Boredom. What is that? I don't know the term. I know the term, but I just don't. It just doesn't apply to me anymore. Haven't in years. All right, but hey, thanks to everyone who's watching. So, as I said, on my YouTube you can find lots of videos about different stuff, and videos about the past streams I've done with pedal builds, and so on. The last working one was the Vemuram Chan Ray that I built. That's, I still have it back here. So on. So go and check those out as well if you like. Have fun, everyone. Good night, good morning, good day, whatever it is over there. Enjoy your day or sleep well, whatever. Devil is off. Bye bye.